Hi everyone. Today we are going to learn projectile motion. So look at the picture. Motion of water jets coming out from nozzles. Look at the picture. Observe the motion of a snowboarder descending from a slope. So observe the motion of a snowboarder. See here. ఎలా ఉంది ఇది కర్వ్డ్ పాత్ లాగా ఉందా లేదా? Then look at the next picture. Observe the motion of a rider performing a bike stunt. చూడండి చిల్డ్రన్, ఇక్కడ కూడా మోషన్ ఆఫ్ ఏ రైడర్ ఎలా ఉంది, కర్వ్డ్ పాత్ లాగా ఉంది. సో ఇక్కడ స్టార్ట్ అయ్యి ఇక్కడికి వచ్చాడు. ఈయన పాత్ ఎలా ఉంది, కర్వ్డ్ పాత్ లాగా ఉంది. See here. Next, motion of a kicked football. Observe the motion of a kicked football. Here also see here, the path is, football path is a curved path. So ఇక్కడ మీరు కాన్సన్ట్రేట్ చేయండి, పాత్ ఎలా ఉంది. సో the path is curved. No force acts, the football will go like this. But here continuously one force is acting. That force is nothing but gravity. So due to gravity, the path is curved path. So my dear children, what is projectile motion? Projectile motion means any object which is projected in the air is called as projectile. Projectile motion means it is a motion in which an object is thrown near the Earth's surface and it moves along the curved path under the action of gravity only. That means projectile motion is nothing but motion under gravity, because only gravity is acting here. Here this football, here football is projectile. Football is projectile. And my dear children, path. So the path is curved path and it looks like a parabola. And this motion of football is called projectile motion. Projectile motion. Now here, suppose this is x-axis and my dear here this is y-axis. Initially the football is thrown with some velocity u, making an angle theta with the horizontal. After a certain time the football is here. That means this much x is changing, this much y is changing. After a certain time the football is here. So this is the reference point. From the reference point, this much x is changing, this much y is changing. So that means here x and y simultaneously changing. So x and y simultaneously changing. That means here two coordinates are required to specify the position of the football with respect to time. That means the motion of football is called here two-dimensional motion. Football is here nothing but projectile. So projectile motion is a two-dimensional motion, and the projectile motion is restricted in a plane. That's why projectile motion is nothing but two-dimensional motion and motion in a plane. And the projectile motion is only under gravity. There is a war between India and Pakistan. A bomb is fired from a cannon with a velocity of u, making an angle theta. Observe the motion of the bomb. The motion of the bomb is like this. So the path is curved. And how many forces are acting on the bomb? Only gravitational force. So if anyone is projected with some velocity, projected means you are giving some velocity. Initially you are giving some velocity. and it moves only under the effect of gravity, then that is called projectile. That object is called projectile and that motion is called projectile motion. Look at the picture, my dear children. Suppose if bomb is fired like this, making an angle of 90 degrees with the horizontal. What happens? The bomb goes, and it falls on the Indian Canal. So we can blast our canal only. That's why your angle with the horizontal is not equal to 90 degrees. Then one more important thing, if the initial velocity is greater, what happens? The bomb will fall behind the Pakistan canal. In this situation also, our bomb is wasted. Suppose if you given velocity is less than the required velocity, the bomb will fall in front of the Pakistan canal. In these two situations, our bomb is wasted. That's why the initial velocity, how much velocity is required to blast the Pakistan canal, and with how much angle, then only you can blast the Pakistan canal. In order to understand projectile motion, first మనకి resolution of vectors అనేది తెలవాలి. So what is meant by resolution? Resolution is nothing but splitting of vectors into its components. So consider a right angle triangle. See, this is theta, this is hypotenuse, this is base, this is perpendicular. Already we know very well cos theta is equal to base by hypotenuse. From this, base is equal to h cos theta. Next, sin theta is equal to perpendicular by hypotenuse. From this, perpendicular is equal to h sin theta. So here 4 meter per second, it is a vector. It is making 30 degrees with the horizontal. So from tail, draw a x-axis line, and from head draw a perpendicular to this is perpendicular one, this is base. So base we can written as, in the place of hypotenuse here 4 is there, so in the place of hypotenuse 4, so here cos in the place of theta, that is 30 degrees. Similarly here also in the place of hypotenuse 4, sin, that is 30 degrees. So right here 4 cos 30 degrees and here 4 sin 30 degrees. That means simply remember, easy గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి, ఈ వెక్టార్ ఏ యాక్సిస్ తో అయితే యాంగిల్ చేస్తుందో ఆ యాక్సిస్ మనం ఏం రాసుకోవచ్చు అంటే 4 cos 30 రాసుకోవచ్చు. దానికి పర్పెండిక్యులర్ ఉన్న దాన్ని మనం 4 sin 30 degrees రాసుకోవచ్చు. సో 4 sin 30 means 4 into 1/2, that is 2 meter per second, and here 4 cos 30 means sin 60, that is √3/2, that is equal to 2√3. So that means here 4 meter per second 30 degrees can be written as on x-axis, that is 2√3, on y-axis its component is 2 meter per second. So this is written as 2√3 I cap, this is 2 j cap. So see, that means we can write velocity is equal to 2√3 I cap plus 2 j cap. So this is the representation of vector. If you need magnitude, so magnitude of velocity means more or less 2 vertical lines, and write under root I పక్కనే ఉంది 2√3 కి స్క్వేర్ చేసేసుకోండి, ప్లస్ j పక్కనే ఉంది 2, దానికి స్క్వేర్ చేసుకోండి, చేస్తే మీకు magnitude of vector వస్తుంది. ఆల్రెడీ మనం వెక్టార్స్ తో చెప్పుకున్నాం కాబట్టి, సో వన్స్ గో అండ్ వాచ్ ద వెక్టార్స్ వీడియో. Okay, clear children? Condition for particle to be in one-dimensional motion. One-dimensional motion means the path of the particle is straight line. So my dear children, look at the screen. So case 1. So initial velocity of the particle, it is along x direction. Suppose the acceleration is 0. Acceleration is 0 means there is no force is acting. Then what is the path of the particle? The path of the particle is straight line. Why? Because acceleration 0 means net force is equal to 0. If net force equal to 0 means body moves with constant velocity. Next, in case 2, if initial velocity and acceleration both are in same direction, both are in same direction means what is the angle between them? Angle between them is 0 degrees. If both are in same direction, already we know very well the particle speed up. That means the particle is in accelerated frame. That means the particle is accelerated. Next, if initial velocity and acceleration are in opposite direction, in this situation theta is equal to 180 degrees. In this situation the particle speed down and the particle retarded in this situation. Retarded. But in case 1 and in case 2, the particle path is straight line. Straight line means that is the one-dimensional motion. That means if acceleration is in the direction of velocity or if the acceleration is opposite to the direction of velocity, the path is straight line. Then what is the condition for particle to be in 2D motion? 2D motion means here if initial velocity of the particle is in this direction and acceleration is acting like this, so there is a angle between them, between u and a, that is not equal to 0 or 180 degrees. Then resolute, that means split the acceleration into two components. Along this the a is making theta with this axis, so along this the component of acceleration is a cos theta, perpendicular to this the component is a sin theta. So here a cos theta is acting in the direction of velocity, so here speed increases, and a sin theta is acting perpendicular to initial velocity. Due to these two acceleration, the particle path is curved, and the particle path is curved, and this is the 2D motion. Then one more example, already we know very well, for initial velocity, if acceleration is perpendicular, then the particle path is like this, circle. It means at each and every point for a direction of velocity, if acceleration is acting perpendicular to it, in this situation the particle is in circular motion. This is also example for 2D motion. So this is a condition for 2D motion. For 2D motion, the acceleration makes some angle with initial velocity. If it is perpendicular, the path is circle, and if it is not perpendicular, the path is curved like this. These two are the conditions for 2D motion. Children, మనకి projectile motion అర్థం కావాలి అంటే ఫస్ట్ మోషన్ ఇన్ 1D ని మనం 2 కేసెస్ లో చెప్పుకున్నాం. ఒకసారి ఇన్ హారిజంటల్ మోషన్ లో చెప్పుకున్నాం. మోషన్ ఇన్ 1D, హారిజంటల్ మోషన్. హారిజంటల్ మోషన్ మీన్స్ along x axis. Another case is vertical motion. Vertical motion means under the effect of gravity. Here gravity effect is there. Vertical motion means the motion along y-axis. So ఈ రెండు మోషన్స్ ని మనం separate గా చదువుకున్నాం. ఒకసారి అవి చూద్దాం. Right, suppose initially the velocity of football is 40 meter per second. So here our assumption is no air resistance, no friction. So my assumption is here acceleration is 0, and already we know very well there is no effect of gravity on horizontal motion. That means if acceleration is 0 means the body moves with constant velocity. If any particle moves with constant velocity, that type of motion is called uniform motion. That means if there is no effect of gravity, that type of motion is uniform motion, and it is along x-axis. Then here in this situation, suppose if you throw a particle upwards with a velocity, suppose initial velocity is 40 meter per second, already we know very well acceleration due to gravity value is 10 meter per second square. That means in each 1 second the change in velocity is 10 meter per second. When the particle is going up, for every 1 second, the speed decreases by 10 meter per second. That means no, the speed is 30 meter per second. After 1 second, the speed is 20 meter per second. After 1 second, the speed is 10 meter per second. After 1 second, its velocity becomes 0. When the velocity becomes 0, that point is topmost point. When the velocity becomes 0, again it returns along the same path. Again, same path. So my dear children, here important point is there, when it is going up, at this point how much speed is there? While it is coming back, it strikes the ground with the same speed. That means from ground, same level of heights are there. They move with the same speeds. While it is going up, while it is coming down. Already we know very well, when it is going up, its speed decreases. After reaching the topmost point, its velocity becomes 0. While it is coming down, its speed increases. Already we know very well, from ground to maximum height, this time is called time of ascent. From maximum height to ground, this time is called time of descent. That means while it is going up, how many seconds? The time taken is 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds. While it is coming down also, it takes 4 seconds time. So time of ascent is equal to time of descent. And one more interesting one. At each point, at each and every point, the acceleration is always directed towards the center of the earth, and each case at each and every point its value is 10 meter per second square. So your acceleration is constant both in magnitude and direction. That's why this motion is called uniformly accelerated motion. While it is coming down, while it is going up, it is uniformly retarded motion. So vertical motion is uniformly accelerated and retarded motion, and horizontal motion is uniform motion. These two cases are projectile motion is a 2D motion. So it can be discussed in two parts, horizontal motion and vertical motion. These 2D motion can be studied as two independent 1D motions. One is along x-axis and other one is along y-axis. So look at the picture. This is x-axis, this is y-axis. So if a body is projected with some initial velocity, that is u, it is making an angle theta with the horizontal. This velocity of the particle can be resolved into two perpendicular components. One is along horizontal component, that is u cos theta. One is along vertical component, that is u sin theta. This u cos theta is responsible for horizontal motion, and this u sin theta is responsible for vertical motion. Already we know very well, there is no effect of gravity on horizontal component velocity. So the horizontal component velocity remains unchanged throughout the motion. That means here also u cos theta, and here also u cos theta. At the topmost point is also u cos theta, and here also u cos theta. When it is landing, here also u cos theta. But my dear children, the vertical component of velocity first decreases and becomes 0 at topmost point B, and again increases while downward motion. That means here the vertical component velocity gradually decreasing, and when it reaches the maximum height, its vertical component velocity 0. So when the vertical component velocity 0, that height is maximum height. So projectile motion is equal to horizontal motion plus vertical motion. So write that one, projectile motion. Projectile motion is equal to horizontal motion plus vertical motion. So this motion is, horizontal motion is motion along x-axis, vertical motion is motion along y-axis. So along x-axis, already very well, initial velocity is u cos theta. So write the parameters. One is u, and another one is acceleration, and another one is final velocity and displacement. So initial velocity along is u cos theta. Initial velocity along y direction is u sin theta. So along x direction, acceleration is equal to 0, but along y direction, acceleration is always directed towards the center of the earth. So ay is equal to minus g. So after certain time, final velocity means already we know v is equal to u plus at. So for along x-axis, x. So already we know very well this is 0. So that is equal to u cos theta. So along y direction, v equal to u plus at, that is vy uy ay. Uy is equal to u sin theta, ay equal to minus gt. So this is the velocity along y direction after certain time. Projectile motion is equal to horizontal motion plus vertical motion. So why? Why means we are studying 2D motion as two independent 1D motions. One is along x-axis, one is along y-axis. Why? Because these two motions are perpendicular to each other. Two perpendicular motions are always takes place independent to each other. Suppose along y-axis the initial velocity is 40 meter per second. Then what is its component along x-axis means, so here this angle is 90 degrees, it is making 90 with x-axis, so we can write 40 cos 90, that is equal to 0. That means this this velocity is not affected by x-axis um, x-axis component. That's why component of 40 meter per second on x-axis is equal to 0. That means two perpendicular motions are always independent to each other. That's why we are studying projectile motions as two independent 1D motions. And one more interesting here, already we know very well equations of motions, that are v equal to u plus at and s equal to ut plus half at square, and third equation of motion v square minus u square equal to 2as. Actually equations of motions are valid only at a constant acceleration and moving in a straight line path. Here acceleration is constant, but here football or projectile is moving along a parabolic path. That's why equations are, when you are to do some problems in projectile motion, well, it is very tough. That's not happening in projectile motion. In projectile motion, the particle is moving along a curved path. So to do some problems in projectile motion, we divide projectile motion into horizontal motion and vertical motion. Hence we apply equations of motions separately and combine them, then that gives the equation of projectile motion. That's why projectile motion is nothing but a horizontal motion plus vertical motion. Combination of horizontal motion plus vertical motion is called projectile motion. In projectile motion, following assumptions are made. First one, air resistance is neglected. An effect due to rotation of earth is neglected. And one more important thing, here earth is assumed to be flat. Earth is assumed to be flat. And acceleration due to gravity, g is constant in magnitude. It means always at each and every point the g value is 9.8 meter per second square, and its direction is always towards the center of the earth. But the important thing here, velocity, the velocity changes both in magnitude and direction. At each and every point, velocity magnitude changes and direction also changes. And Types of projectile motion. There are three types of projectile. First one is oblique projectile. Oblique projectile means here ground to ground projectile, that is called oblique projectile, and second one is horizontal projectile, and third one is projectile on a inclined plane.